Hello, everyone. Hold on. Can y'all hear me? Hold on one second. Let me do a sound check real quick. Shoot. Well, welcome to B and BBH anyway. If anybody's watching that participates in this chat, if you can hear me, press one. Uh, okay. Yeah. I can. Yeah. Sound check approved. Well. Yeah. So I'm just gonna put some disclaimers out there. But before I get started, if it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. It is for the algorithm. Southpaw 2K1, what's going on? See, you're already in the building. Um, yeah, and the sponsor for tonight's stream is Indigenous TV. So if he shows up tonight, I will be sure to let him know. But just I announced it. How I do the sponsor is whoever gave the most as far as super chats or cash app donations, you are the sponsor for the very next stream. And Indigenous TV really showed some love last stream, so really appreciate that, brother. So just hold that up there for a second. Uh, yeah, and 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 I will repeatedly emphasize that yeah, if it is your first time here watching one of my broadcasts, um, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Yeah. All right, guys. Um, listen up. I'm gonna speak to you guys as a father tonight. Um, a father actually with a daughter, but I do have a child. Yeah, and this is concerning another father, Shaquille O'Neal, and really, still my favorite NBA father is LeVar Ball, but Shaquille O'Neal, he did a interview on the Pivot podcast and talked about his family, his career, his success, and a lot of which that really took me back because I've been following Shaquille since the beginning of his career in the NBA. Yeah, and it's a story one. This a man who has had great success, and and I was really disenchanted to hear that, basically saying that his sons were on their own once they hit 18. And look, I'm not here to tell someone what to do with their children, how to raise their children. Um, yeah, what's going on, Gilgamy? But one major problem that I do see in the black community, well, whatever you want to refer to it as, the black community, the black diaspora, Western black folks, whatever you want to call us, is that we don't seem to care that much about our sons. We don't. And it's a sad thing for me to observe because there are many troubled black sons throughout our community, throughout, the family dynamic, uh, seeing that fatherlessness is quite numerous in our community, which really it kind of, stacks the deck against us. Phil Brad, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in once again. But yeah, Shaq has received a lot of criticism, especially within the space, about what he said. And I watched most of the interview. I mean, well, I listened to most of the podcast. It was from the Pivot podcast. And Jeffrey Whitlock was going on. Thanks for tuning in once again. And like I said, I'm not here. Like Shaq is actually one of my favorite people. You know, he is definitely a success story. But like I said, he has sons. He has sons, just like my father, he had sons. And I do get it, and I do understand that not every son wants to follow in his father's footsteps. And the footsteps of Shaquille O'Neal are rather big. And, is, he said some things. He said some things that kind of jumped out quite a bit to me. And, he say, he's already established with his children, uh, saying that we ain't rich, I'm rich. Now, dude basically pulled a Jackie Chan. For those of you who, for those of you who know what Jackie Chan said about his son. Basically, he said when he dies, when he goes to the great beyond, that he is going to give all his money to charity, and his son is going to have to work like he did. Now, what if there's a chance that his sons, or between the two of those men, uh, that they're not as great as their fathers were? I mean, we're talking about Shaquille O'Neal. Then what kind of legacy would they have to leave? We often discuss, the beginning of generational wealth, because we really have none. I mean, very few families that are black have done it, but many other communities, they have done it with their sons. And I'm not saying, we should all have our hands out and, or we should resent the fathers that we had that could not provide us with that generational wealth, because we understand and realize um, that our fathers and our grandfathers before us really had it very difficult because of the fact that, it, several factors, discrimination because of skin color, or, lack of knowledge, just to name a couple, not having a path to this generational wealth, but it really just, I don't know, just kind of makes me a little upset when, we see someone that has our skin tone, that has, is it within his capabilities to do so, but kind of just throws out the statement that he's not going to do it. He's, and I get it, who knows the entire story of, Shaq and his kids, maybe his kids have pulled, well, his sons, because he's in that same interview, he spoke very highly of his daughters. So I'm just gonna say his sons. He said in the interview that he favors his daughters over his sons. And I do understand that, when you are a father of girls, or a girl like me, that you want to do everything in your power to protect that girl or girls, you know. But and he told his sons, once you become 18, you got to go. But his daughters can stay as long as they want, because he wants to give them the guidance that he couldn't give them while he wasn't there, when he was, during the height of his career, so to speak. Let me say this: Shaq already had money before he had his kids. And I do understand, I think he has two baby mamas. So, well, one which was his wife that he was married to for several years, Shawnee O'Neal, and there's another one out there. And he's also admitted to great infidelities because, you know what, he's Shaq. He's had all kinds of coochie thrown at him. Um, but just based on the fact that he said that his sons got to get out when they are 18, but his daughters, they can stay as long as they want. You're throwing your sons basically to the wolves. Not saying that they're incapable of doing things on their own, but at 18, you're still really not a full grown man. I mean, you're of legal age, and up until the point of 18, I'm sure Shaq is taking care of his kids extremely well. He's even said he spoiled them. But throwing them out into a world that doesn't like doesn't like black boys and black men based on our skin color and our gender. I mean, you're basically throwing them to the wolves. And I get it. It's kind of a sink or swim. You want to grow them up, and you want them to develop tough exteriors. Um, but yeah, that interview was very interesting. You know, he was raised by a drill sergeant named Phil. I remember the song. And he said that which I don't get, he said he had no ill will toward his actual biological dad. I mean, I don't see how that's true because he made an entire rap song about his dad, his biological dad. He called it Biological Dead Bother. So I don't think he was completely honest, but people can change over the years, but it's, I don't know. I got some HNIC vibes from Shaq, basically how he spoke of his sons as it compares to how he spoke of his daughters. So let's see who's in this. See a lot of you in this chat right now. See a lot of his chat. Hybrid catastrophic. Impact X83rd power. What's going on? Long live the habitual line steppers. Toy the tutor. LaShawn Jefferson. He says Shaq. He repeating the saying his real father did, but his stepdaddy getting blamed. No, no, no. His stepfather stepped in and made him, like he said in the interview, made him the man that he is today. And he said in the interview that um, he has no regrets because imagine him being with his real dad versus his stepdad. He might not have gotten to where he is today if it wasn't for that. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power says, I respect what Jackie Chan did. He never, you never want to have a situation similar to Dr. Dre and his daughter. Millionaires like Master P made sure his son learned the value of hard work, no handouts. Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't completely disagree with that. It's just the messaging that I had a problem with. Yeah, because I was actually going to go into this broadcast with a lot more fire, but is like it's the difference between making coming up with an idea a few days ago as to coming up, speaking on it, today. Um, like I understand that. I understand that you don't want your sons to be soft on the world because a lot of the times they send their kids out into this world and they immediately just get out of control. And the next thing you know, we're hearing about them in the news, either due to some criminality or actually dying, just because they were out of control or just, on some weird behavior type stuff. I mean, look at Will Smith's kids. And it's just all the way. LaShawn Jefferson. Stepdaddy gave respect, but he shaded stepdaddy because wasn't his father, but he didn't do like his stepdad did. Uh, uh, he actually shows a ton of love to his stepfather, so I don't know how to take that. Uh, Jamil Sword, what's up? He said all this while every other race of people give their sons the world without any effort. Yeah, and you know what? I hate to like I always tell you guys, I hate to bring up other races because I believe that we should be fully focused on our race and moving forward and improving our standing, not only with ourselves, but within this world, which hates us so much. But it's like, okay, let's bring up Caucasians and how they handle their sons. They will teach their sons every facet of what they know and then hand it to them when they can't do it anymore, which, is beyond my comprehension because it seems to me like because it it seems to me like every time I see one of them in charge or, having a leg up in life, they act like everyone else has to earn it where they had it handed to them. And it makes me sick. It really does. It makes me sick. I mean, it makes them entitled, but it also makes me resent the fact that why can't or if only we were given a fair shot in the black community, is like would we do it? Would we do that for our sons? Would we give them a shot at generational wealth? Teach them everything that, well, not necessarily everything we know, teach them everything they know so they can one day take it over, you know. Under the circumstances, um, could be, but, with people like Shaq coming out and saying things the way he said, I don't know. I truly don't. I mean, it's just disappointing for me to hear him say that. You know, Shaq the superstar, fan of his. Shaq the NBA champion, big fan. Shaq the rapper, not so much. Shaq the father, not so much either. So yeah, Southpaw 2K1 says. So let me get this straight. If I was Shaq's son and turned 18 today, and my graduation is in June, am I supposed to be homeless for the next 6 weeks? Fuck out of here. I'm pretty sure it's probably not that extreme. I think he would probably give them a little time window, but it's like I said, it is kind of weird that he put it out there like that. I mean, shoot, is the I said that this sends a horrible message to black sons, but because really 18, that's still a child. That's still a child mentally. You haven't even fully matured yet. So uh, it's mind boggling actually. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that he should just give him a free ride. I mean, he is not only has he been a very successful basketball player, he's also a very successful business owner. He has his hand on enough businesses to divvy out whatever to each one of his kids, you know. But I'm just taking it as there's still so much we don't know. There's still so much he don't we don't know. Uh, about how his kids actually are. Now, as far as how he views his sons versus how he views his daughters, in the Pivot podcast, I'm not sure what the young men's names were. One of them looked familiar, one of them didn't. He asked, did he have favorites amongst his children? I can tell you right now, as far as my life goes, and I don't know, my siblings might slightly disagree or feel some kind of way, but I was my mom's favorite. It was definitely my mom's favorite. I think I might have been my dad's favorite too. Like my dad constructed a basketball goal. Like he built one himself. He not well the backboard and the post he put together himself. My dad was very crafty, but he painted his three sons' names on the basketball goal. And one brother was on one side, the other brother was on other side, and my name was at the top. So shoot, I believe as far as my parents go, I was a favorite. My brothers were kind of envious of that, but so what? But like Shaq, he said as far as his favorites were, he said it was definitely his daughters. Now, being in a group of siblings, uh if Shaq was if my siblings felt a certain way about me be I guess seemingly the favorite, I know his sons felt a certain way as well. And it just that might cause some friction, between Shaq and his sons. Maybe there's already friction that's there, but he was saying that his daughters are thinkers, as he said, basically giving them the intelligence leg up. Like he said, he could put something in front of his sons. His sons are straightforward. He put something in front of his daughters. His daughters are going to analyze it. So he didn't even really give his sons the credit for intelligence. And he said that he wanted to keep his daughters around, to teach them about how men are. Because, basically because of the way he is, because he takes full responsibility and accountability for how his marriage turned out, which, you know, if 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 you got people out there saying that black men aren't accountable, then I would probably exalt Shaquille O'Neal and Will Smith as examples of black male accountability, even though it's accountability that is, at least for one of them, is far beyond necessary. Shoot, off subject a little bit. I hear that Jada suggests that her and Will go to couples counseling, and she's trying to push the message that Will's the problem, which anybody with half a brain can see that is not the case, but that's not the conversation. Let's get back on Shaq. Uh, Shaq, seeing that his daughters, he feels as if his daughters are better thinkers and more analytical. Why would he throw his sons out at 18? Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, the rules are different for rich and wealthy people. I mean, Shaq's sons might already have connections, shared connections that some of us old fellas don't. I always try to think of all the possibilities, but and I do understand. He probably don't want to give him a chunk of money and then they just go out there and blow it like that. But if he wasn't there for his children, why would he believe that his sons are more than likely to be survivors in a cold world that doesn't like them based on their skin color, their gender, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be that protective to his daughters. I get it. But I mean, if you weren't there for either one of your kids, and I'm not saying not there as in because he had the family dynamic, he was just on the road all the time. He was. So I mean, you can just put two and two together right there. So why wouldn't he believe that his sons need the guidance as well as his daughters? Why wouldn't he? I mean, and he had a drill sergeant for a father, his stepfather, which he says he didn't even know that Phil wasn't his real father until he was 11 years old. And he says in the interview that he noticed that he had a different last name than his siblings, and he asked his mother why, and she took him to meet his biological dad, which stayed in the projects. So he said he was very content. he had a family life, he had a dad, and he, like I said, he says that he doesn't hold any animosity toward him, but like I said, he made a rap song, a whole entire rap song. I mean, I remember them days. Shaq said I had, like, one thing he said in the interview though, I had skills in the rap. I said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. But what I got from him making that statement is basically, I'm gonna deliberately leave my sons hanging out too dry. Now, what kind of caught me off guard too is what he said he wanted to teach his daughters about men. But he was saying basically he didn't want his daughters to get a man that everybody liked because that man has options. You know, get you one that you know that loves you. It sounded to the, like he said loves you more than you love them, and get you a man that you can control. I was like, which, I'm going to use Black Guru's word on what he thought about that. Shout out to Black Guru. Very profound brother, by the way. He stated that, it sounded very matriarchal. Like he's setting his daughters up to be matriarchal, which, once I heard it stated, shit, it sounded that way to me too. Get you a man that you can control. It's like, wow, like, honestly, for the kind of black man that is coming up in this day and age, and I'm sorry to say this for my boomer brothers and my Generation X brothers, these guys seem to be a bit more driven and a bit more purposed because these young brothers have access to paths and info that, quite frankly, they can become more successful, they can make more money, and they can compete out there, even with the white boys and with the Asians. Do not underestimate the power of blackness in 2022. I mean, we still try to, like we're sitting up here in 1960 and 1970. I mean, for real, for real. I mean, if you've been in this space and you observe what goes on social media, the black man really gets the short end of the stick as far as everyone's respect. But that comes from a bit of indoctrination. There's a lot of young black men out there competing for the gold. Yeah, I mean, seriously, we are. Even some of us older ones that, we are a little behind, but we have the access to the info that our predecessors didn't. So why why even set your daughters up to basically be single? He, which is basically he's telling everyone that you know he doesn't want he doesn't want any of his daughters to run into anyone that is can't even come close to his greatness. And think about it, Shaquille O'Neal is a brand. It's not just a name, it's a brand. The man has many, many credentials besides basketball. Besides that, besides that, that spot that he has on TNT, being commentary along with Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley and that other guy. But I mean, look, is outside of Shaquille O'Neal even saying that he's a media personality. And when you're a successful person like that who has the power of influence, messages like that go beyond your family, you know, because Let me just tell you guys, people are sheep these days. They'll listen to anyone that has a great deal more money than them, and that is something that cannot be denied. So when you don't use your power of influence for good, you have the chance to be a negative impact on people. I mean, like many examples in this space, of positive influences and negative influences. Yeah. Now, am I here to judge how he raises children? No, no, I'm not. But I can judge the message. And you guys in the chat who participate so diligently, you can too. Because I do understand. And the reason why I just said what I said, being like a cult of personality and influence, like Shaquille O'Neal, an example of success, a lot of people will tell people like me, well, you broke. I'm sure he doesn't care about what you're saying, blah, blah, blah. Why you care about it so much? Why are you giving it life? Just like they will say something about like Will and Jada. They'll say something about it that, like, with Dwayne and Gabrielle, Mr. and Mrs. Union, basically, oh, you broke. They don't care. You ain't got much money as them, you know. And let me give you a brutally honest truth. Let me give you something. Let me give you a little tidbit. Everyone judges everyone all the time. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I mean, people might as well stop being sensitive about it. I don't care if it is your favorite person, your favorite superstar. They all get judged. Every one of them. Every one of them. They all get judged. We all get judged. Hell, if you're in this space, you get judged just for being in this space. So, fuck all that. Shaquille has enough money for me not to even care about what I say about him. I'm no hater. I'm just kind of, I'm just not a real fan of him doing his sons like that because, again, what message that has, what message does that send to many black sons out there who want to be like him? What is he saying? Like, okay, I look up to you. You know, you, I, you should give a fuck about me once I turn 18. Shit. Yeah, man. All I'm saying is this: when you have a chance to do something that many fathers wish they could do for their sons, you're a black man, you know, and I mean, like I say, you're a success story. You you have many black male fans. You know, basically, what you just did was give them the middle finger. So I don't know if you guys agree with what I'm saying or not. It's just what I see. It's just what I see. Is disappointing and is horrible messaging to a group of young men, to a generation of young men who already get that horrible messaging through so many other things. So, all right, let's see. Yeah, we got 25 in the building, so hopefully you have all pressed that like button. You know, oh, Indigenous TV is in the building. Indigenous TV is in the building. And yes, you are the sponsor for tonight's stream. Yes, you definitely showed me the love. You showed me the most love as far as super chat donations, and that's how you become a sponsor. So if any of you are out there watching, oh, I see narratives and dialogues in the chat as well, and you want to possibly become the sponsor for next stream, show your boy some love, support the channel. There's a super chat and there is a cash app. So Yeah. So yeah, it's no problem, man. I mean, shoot. I mean, I didn't even, you know, I mean, is I appreciate everything that everybody does for me as far as giving me super chats and cash apps. The one important thing that I do understand about that is you guys really don't have to do that, but you're doing it because you want to. So, oh, okay. I see Cartel is in the building. What's going on, Cartel? Who else I haven't shouted out? Red Planet Photography. What is up? Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. So, yeah, man. So this whole Shaq thing, I don't. I feel like it's not just him. It's almost as if it's like as far as, and I've often said I don't blame certain people for leaving, as Indigenous says, Krypton, because it's very heartbreaking to actually care about a set that keeps disappointing you. You know what I'm saying? But where do we begin? Where do we begin? Where do we begin as far as the healing? Roguish Sun, what's going on? Says peace to the Weekend Warrior and the BMBBH chat. Hashtag LLTHLS, which stands for Long Live the Habitual Line Steppers. Long live, brother. Yeah, Rogish has been down with this set for a while. So I appreciate every time he shows up. Uh, what did Lashan say? I had run like a slave. Bit was my grandmother's 100th birthday. Buck down. Bit my grandmother was 100. All night grandma got my side. Your grandmother's 100. I mean, that she has seen literally everything. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Go through some of these comments. Uh, goes through some of the RPM. What's going on? Yeah, I see RPM is in the building. Yeah, man. Shoot, it's good to be alive. Good to be alive. Infantry skills. Local politics, black men. That is the only way to counter these feminists. Remember, I told you this. I believe that many of us have that figured out. Action. Talking to, and you're right to an expect it to an extent. Talking about it is one thing. Doing actionable things, that's a whole nother animal. But infantry skills, I would like for you to come through on Monday. I have a message for everybody with that solutions argument, and that's probably going to be 10 times harsher than what this broadcast is. I'm really in a place where I can't really, uh, really go off like I want to. A lot of people in here. I have to be a little quiet, but we get the message out. Gyogamy, what's going on? We can see a distinction between Shaq's rearing of his sons versus Joe Bryant's rearing of Kobe. Both sports professionals invested differently in their sons. Kobe is Joe's only son, I must add. Well, I mean, you see what happened with Kobe. And, usually, like a lot of NBA players, their sons don't follow them up. One thing I do notice about professional athletes, either their sons become greater than them or their sons fall way below them. I'll give you an example. Patrick Ewing's son played for Georgetown. Do you hear anything about Patrick Ewing's son today? Nope, not at all. uh, yeah. I mean, Dale Curry. I mean, I I don't remember anything about Dale Curry, but that's That's the father of Steph Curry. And Steph Curry, we all know the story with him. Shoot, way greater than his dad. So, I mean, we've heard nothing about any of Shaq's son yet. I mean, I would say that one son in particular that might have a chance to be as great as his father if he stays on the path is LeBron James' son. Old Bronny. Red Planet Photography says Shaq been a weirdo. I don't know. I mean, what could quantify him being a weirdo? Yeah, LaShawn, you you celebrate, man. I'm glad your family has such longevity. It might be a sign of things to come for you. Just thank God for that. But how many how many of you in that chat have sons, and sons that you're actually present and accounted for? I mean, honestly, what do you want for your son? I'm quite sure you want anywhere from good to what's best for your kids. And who knows, Shaq might not be leaving his sons out to dry like that. You know, I mean, I'm just a guy with an opinion. I just don't have a very high opinion of that kind of thing, though. So yeah, we got damn near 30 in the building. Hope all of you are press like. Shoot, we check some real quick. I know some of y'all be sneaky with the dislikes. So yeah, let's see. Just one moment. Just be very patient with me. All right, 43 likes and one dislike. Yeah, shoot. Like I said, well, you can't win them all.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze. Damn.
Yeah. So let's continue. Shaka Nulu, what's going on? Hybrid Catastrophic says I have nephews. uh, Narratives and Dialogue said no children but have tons of nephews and have been a model in their lives, although they have fathers. Their fathers say I am a model for them as well. Okay. All right. I mean, that's good. I mean, you are a black male that is being a positive impact. So that does count. Yeah, I mean, just okay. Anthony Drosos. I guess he just added another like. Yeah, but the narratives and dialogue said no dislikes here. I mean, it's all good, man. I mean, like I say, you can't win them all. Can't win them all. But based on what I've said about what he said about his daughters, basically he wants his daughters to find a man that they can control. Really is like, okay, what do you think that man is going to believe once he find whatever man dates his daughters and have a possibility of marrying them? What do you think he is going to believe once he finds out that that's the daughter of Shaquille O'Neal? Like that's not. I mean, this dude could be a superstar attorney, and his net worth is still not gonna match the net worth of Shaquille O'Neal. So I believe there's gonna be a bit of an intimidation factor anyway. So trying to say something to the effect of get you a man that you can control. The fact that their father is Shaquille O'Neal is going to, you know, is, is going to have assert some control anyway. Omega Dreads Gaming says irony when father want to say why my sons hate me. Yeah, well, yeah. I can believe that. In terms of, as I said, since history, father and son complex, God versus Satan. Yeah. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83 power says divorce is inevitable in situations where the woman wears the doctors in their relationship. Yeah, because I mean, still, you like Shaquille O'Neal. Look, Shaquille O'Neal is a tough act to follow. A lot of girls see men through in the vision of their fathers. You know, if their father was a great man, they would want that man's greatness to match their father's greatness. And like I said, I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with me, but that's usually how it is. So when you don't match that greatness, it becomes problematic, which is a shame because like I see, my daughter grows up. Granted that she does find her a man, I at least want that man to respect her and treat her right if that's what she wants. Of course. Like I know what I want, but I hope that it happens so I won't have to like do something to him if he mistreats my daughter. But um, says Shaq is Cartel says Shaq is actually one of my cousin's godfather, one of your cousin's godfather. Oh, okay. And narratives and dialogue said, "I'm glad Shawnee did not turn her daughters against their father, Shaq." I mean, think about that this way. Their father is Shaquille O'Neal. And I'm gonna put some emphasis on that. Shaquille O'Neal, the superstar basketball player, the multiple time NBA champion, the famous person. He's a celeb. He's a very successful celeb, and he's a big time entrepreneur as well. Owns many businesses, owns many franchises. I mean, this man he's never ever gonna run out of money. Never. I mean, he's been in several films, and this is, I believe, before his children. I mean, granted, it was Blue Chips and Kazam or Shazam. I think it was Kazam, the one where he played the genie. Steel, where he couldn't wear the Superman emblem, but he was Steel anyway. I mean, I mean, besides from that, besides from that, you know, Shaq is a like, and I have like my criticisms of Shaq is very few. I mean, yeah, he's also a sheriff, I believe, in Texas, and yeah, he used to say some kind of, you he like I believe in Snellville, Georgia, he was actually doing a workshop for young men to learn how to deal with the police, which a lot of people I think pushed back against because, it was real high tension between law enforcement and black people because that was around the times where Trayvon and Mike Brown happened and all these cop killing of young black men, and gotta throw the women there too. Sandra Bland, Rakia Boyd, all of them, just were, guys like John Crawford. And you had this man out here. Now Charles Barkley can go to hell. I have I'm not as harsh with Charles Barkley, as a lot of people are. I mean, but maybe that's another broadcast for another day. Um, uh, yeah, Shaq. Shaq, kind of made a few of us mad, seeming like he was sort of a law enforcement sympathizer, even making statements on TV, saying like, that we should learn how to deal with the police. I don't know if many of you remember that, but that's probably why you know just why people would say something like Shaq been a weirdo. But I do remember this stuff as well as you do. So it's like I said, it's all good. I just wish that uh we knew how to, as a community, we knew how to make their pass for our sons. I mean, our daughters, too. I mean, we're and I believe that we are, as black men, are very protective of our daughters and the women who aren't wayward. And y'all know by the women what I mean when I say the women that aren't wayward. A lot of the women, I'm like some of y'all on y'all own. I'm just saying the attitudes on display, but for the most part, if you are a female in our community, if you're a female in our community that can't find at least one black man that is protective of you, you must have really fucked up. That's all I can say. You must have really fucked up. Look at some comments. Cartel says, Kevin, they know how to do right by their sons. They just choose not to. Agree. Say it's a choice for their father to treat their sons like shit when they don't have to. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I can say that a lot of that is because sometimes, and I've observed this, sometimes the father has it really tough growing up, and because of the ease of their sons and how their sons' lives are, not living under such tension, sometimes the father has this capacity to want to show their sons how tough it might have been for them as well, you know, through them, you know. I mean, my dad, I love him, and I don't have very many complaints. He wasn't perfect, but my first lessons in racism and how the pale people were came from him. I did not develop a disposition for those people until my father told me. And it is because of what he went through in his life. We're slap in the middle of Alabama. You know, we're from the cradle of the Confederacy, Montgomery. you know, so it was a lot of tension with them. It was a lot of tension, and it, and I mean, I immediately latched on. I immediately latched on. It took no time for me to latch on to that mentality. And me being a curious fella, I did my research like from a very young age about what my dad was actually talking about. And when I heard all of the horrible things that they used to do to us, it confirmed what he was saying. It really did. So, uh, I get it sometimes. I do get it. But Shaq has to understand, and I'm sure he does, that he said he was a troublemaker, that he was in the streets, and he had a father to smack him upside the head. Shaq has to understand how lucky he was. He, he had to understand how lucky he was that his children did not have to go through the same thing he did. So I get it. I get it. I get it all. But at the same time, Cartel said, I agree, Kev, but two wrongs don't make a right, but it makes perfect sense. So, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just that I don't want to see too many more instances where we, as a community of black man adults, aren't making a pathway to make it easier for the sons and the nephews, by the way, of this community. Because let me tell you something. And Montgomery is the place where I'm from, but for black people, it is a dying city. And I really hate looking at it. That's why I don't live there anymore. I can't send my child to them schools down there. And the reason why is the sons down there, they're killing each other. They're killing each other. They tearing each other up down there. And they have these horrible attitudes. And I'm sorry, a lot of people don't like to for black men to tell the truth about these things, but lots of single mother homes, lots of single mother neighborhoods down there. I hate it. I hate for my city, my home city, with such a rich and thick history of, civil rights. I really hate to see it that way. I mean, we're like one big Martin Luther King Jr. drive down there. You know how they name the cities after historic black figures? Well, the streets after historic black figures and the schools after historic black figures, and they'll be the most messed up streets and schools. Shoot, Montgomery, Alabama, yeah, we are thick in that history, and shoot, it's a messed up city for blacks. Saint Nick's 6'9" says Memphis too. LaShawn said I'm about out of sensitive. Yeah, I mean, shoot, I've been out of sensitive for a long time. For a long time. Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, we should be looking out for our younger generation. That's why a lot of our younger generation, I'm just gonna not even sugarcoat it, they hate us. They call us old niggas because of mentalities such as Shaq's. The guys that had to go out there and get it on their own. Every time an older cat tries to tell them something, man, it not only falls on deaf ears, it's met with disrespect. Indigenous TV says Shaq and his son need to fight like geese and Rock Howard. Yeah, pop culture references like a mug out of Indigenous TV. But I appreciate those because I know exactly what he's talking about. Like Wolfgang Krauser and his father. Shoot, he killed his dad. Shoot. But, anyway. I mean, I would say tell me what you think in the comment section after I go off air, but you guys have pretty much already told me. But at least for those of you catching a replay, at least for you guys, yeah. Let me check out something real quick. Let's, yeah, it's been a long day. Man says Shaq throwing his son off a cliff like Kazuya. Yeah, 49 likes. Yay. Like I said, this stuff is for the algorithm. Yep. And let me see something real quick. Hold on one second. I know I say that quite a bit. Let me see something real quick. Let me show you something. Oh man. Uh, okay. Let me. Hmm, hmm, hmm. You guys are so patient with me. Yeah. So yeah. So it's I have 43 more subs to go before I hit 3K. Yeah, and I'm gaining subs quite fast too. So I don't know if it's because of the live broadcast that I do, or is it because of the pre-records that I've been doing as of late, the BMBBH news, and I've gained a few subs from that too. But I mean, however you found your way here, I just like to thank you. I know I had a few content creators uh, share my content in their community tabs, and I gained a few subs from them too. So I appreciate them as well. Uh, so yeah, just 43 more to go, and I'll be at 3K. And it's already on and popping, but it'll be just even more so on and popping once I get that. Once I get to that 3K. You know, is and it just with each new sub, it motivates me even more to continue this. So I really appreciate you guys. For those who are my existing subs, that you've been sticking by me, and I mean, like, I ain't gonna lie, I lose a couple subs here and there. I mean, but at the end of the day, uh, the real ones are gonna stay. You know, is, and that's what's valuable to me. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that coffee. He said the BBH news is on point. Yeah, I did. I did a real doozy last night. I did a real doozy last night, and a lot of people, I figured watch that particular video. They felt that one. They felt that one. So, I mean, so just check out my last upload. And just check out any of my uploads. I mean, I put them in my community tab quite often. But yeah, you guys are the greatest. You know, I can see my own greatness somewhat, but you guys, you help me see it. So anyway, not too much more to say on this one. Except once again, thank you to the sponsor for tonight's stream, Indigenous TV. Uh, much appreciated. Much appreciated. And look, look, and I'll say this again, and I cannot emphasize this to you guys enough. Um, we have to take care of our younger generation of boys. We do. Because, you know, we are the backbone of the black community. Whether you want that responsibility or not, we are. If you don't want to be, that's fine. No one's going to hold a gun to your head and make you do it. You know. But if you want input, if you want to have an opinion, my suggestion is that if you haven't been doing it, you need to start. Because whether you feel like that or not, your melanated skin color is going to dictate that. For people like Shaq to be a public figure, to be the superstar that he is and a cultural influence, if that was his intention for his children, maybe, just maybe, he should have kept that to himself. Because there are many of us black men who have children or, whose siblings have kids that did not appreciate that. Now, I will throw out a couple things that he said during that podcast. He told the guys at the Pivot podcast, he said most people, like a lot of people, just do podcasts, but I really like you guys. You put out great content. That's basically why he agreed to do the interview. I said, shit, he could have been taking shots at anybody who has an opinion that he might not like. And, he also said something to the effect that, there's plenty of people out there that, not maybe not verbatim, but there's a lot of people out there that are not on his level. So when you let a lesser person get to you, then they win. So, Shaq ain't studying anything that I said tonight. So I just want to let y'all know that, and go into each broadcast with whoever I talk about, feeling that about all, whether it's a member of the Black Manosphere, whether it's a content creator in the black space of YouTube, or it's a celebrity. My suggestion to each and every one of those people, especially black men, is that if you feel that way about your sons, that hey, you know what, just toss them out to the wolves, that you're on your own. Once you turn 18, keep that shit to yourself. Keep it to yourself, man. I mean, and I'm not even near kidding. Keep that shit to yourself. Oh yeah, I know you. I know you're looking forward to that. Tomorrow night. That's tomorrow night. Yeah. Like I said a couple weeks ago that I was gonna do an R&B stream. Basically, talking about the past R&B and how much resentment there may be for those songs and for those artists. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. That's definitely gonna be a fun one because I got some ideas for that one. He said that stream has to have a panel, and Donnie and Rogish got to be on it. Well, if Rogish isn't busy, yeah, I would definitely like Rogish to be on that panel. And Donnie, I talked to him on the phone, so I'll be sure to get in touch with him to see what he's up to. Yeah, yeah, but I already got some things in line for that stream, so that should be a fun one. So tomorrow night, the title of the stream is Simp Appeal. Did R&B music kill the black relationship? Well, y'all already amping up for that one. This goes out to this goes all out to all of the this for the love of you ass niggas. Yeah, them guys. Yeah, them guys messed up quite a bit, but we'll get into that tomorrow night. Rogan said, "I'm down for if y'all still be rocking by the time I close shop." Yeah, yeah, of course. Like, yeah, I mean, I do plan on opening up the panel for that one. So yeah, that one should be 2 or 3 hour stream. Starting after 10 o'clock Eastern time. So I mean, you Rogish, you sound like you be putting in some work, yo. You sound like you be putting in some work, man. But yes, but anyway, if you hadn't pressed the like button on this one, please do so on the way out. Oh, I got 55 of them bad boys. Man, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good ratio. So anyway, uh, be sure to check out some of the of man, y'all lighting that chat up already. That's gonna be a fun broadcast tomorrow night. I hope to see all of you there, and I hope to see more. You know what I'm saying. This channel is definitely experiencing some growth, and I'm really, really happy about that. So, getting back to what I was saying, look, if you are an influencer, a famous person, or someone with a small YouTube channel, such as myself, if you have sons that you don't intend to do anything for, keep that shit to yourself. You already have people out here that believes that it's tough enough for the black man, by the way. And we are, you know, we are on, we're battle hardened. We know what this society thinks about us. We know even within our own families, we know what they think about us. And, for those of us that made it, we are survivors. And I hope that Shaq's sons, with their dad saying that, and I'm sure that they already had that understanding anyway, that they are battle hardened as well and ready to take on this world. Because I got to tell you, in general, as a whole, we haven't equipped we may have on individual basis, and in many cases, we might have prepared our sons. When I say our sons, I mean like the community. I don't have a son, but I've been a black son. I am a black son. We haven't equipped them to beat this world, and because we live in the present day, um, we have the opportunity to equip our sons and our nephews to beat this world. So just a piece of advice coming from someone who is a humble man. And okay, that will do it for me. Um, Shaq, come on, brother. I I I know you're better than this. I know you are. I know you are. I mean, just I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give that to you. I know you don't need it, and I know you could care less, but I'm gonna be a black man that's gonna give a black man the benefit of the doubt. And when it's time to cross that bridge, maybe you'll do differently. But public perception for us black men is the same old, same old. And that's a shame. So, anyway, just looking at these comments. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That could be it. Red Planet Photography. Maybe it's reverse psychology to make his boys go out there and hustle. Yeah. So, uh, yeah, yeah. Maybe it is. So, let me just put it like this, y'all. I really wish that it is. I really do. But if wishes were fishes. But anyway, that's it for me. That's it for this particular podcast. Uh, Stop sending our black boys horrible messages. You know, they need us older individuals now more than ever. Even if they don't want the help, even if they don't realize they need the help, even if they don't need the help, all they need is some good words. And that'll be it for me. I am Kev. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest, uh, based on a Facebook group that had its fifth anniversary a couple days ago. That group has been around for 5 whole years. Wow. And really, my broadcast on Monday, I'm going to get into gross detail about a lot of the sentiments that were shared in that group. But for now, long live the habitual line steppers. And Kev, we trust. I am going to win. We are going to win. Till the next time.